Let's get started with setting up the CloudRep AI Receptionist in Clinicmaster. So when you first log into Clinicmaster, you're going to want to go to the left here, then find Settings, and that will bring you to the Settings page. And then we're going to want to go to Integrations, and let's scroll down and click on number 12, AI Receptionist. So let's click that. And you'll see here that we have three tabs. We have the General tab, the Services tab, and Additional Tasks tab. Let's start with the General tab. So the first thing we see here is this box. Now we can set the receptionist as active or inactive with this checkbox. Then here we have a checkbox that says block short notice cancellations via AI. So if we turn this off, the patient will be able to call in at any time and cancel their appointment, no matter how soon that appointment is. But if we turn this on, then we can enter in a number, which is the number of hours ahead of a patient's appointment that they can cancel. For example, if I put 24, this means that they can cancel up to a day before their appointment. Or if I put 48, then it would be up to 2 days before their appointment. Now, if we set this to 0, this actually makes it so that the patient cannot cancel their appointment over the phone. So if you don't want your patient to be able to cancel appointments over the phone and you always want to go through your staff, then you can just set this to 0. Here in additional clinic information, this is where you can add extra information about your clinic that isn't covered by other parts of this platform. For example, parking access, wheelchair accessibility, insurance information, etc. You can add it right here. Next, we have the voicemail task. And what the voicemail task allows us to do is basically configure how the agent should handle voicemails. We can give our voicemail task a title. We can choose who to assign it to. So we can either assign it to a specific staff member or we can assign it to a staff team. So if we click staff team here, and this is a group of people that you can choose that the voicemail will be assigned to. For example, here I can click everyone. Now, we do recommend using a staff team because it allows multiple people to handle the voicemails and can just make things more efficient as you don't have to rely on one person to handle voicemails. The client, this is basically a fallback for if the agent is unable to identify the customer, either the call is unclear or for any other reason, then the task can be logged under this client. And then we also have the task process and task queue, which helps to organize voicemail tasks. We have a category, if applicable, which also helps to organize. This is things like MVA, EHC, etc. And then we also have the priority level of the voicemail task. So this is set to critical, but there's low, medium, high, and critical. Then once you're done with all of these settings, you can go down here and click Save. And you will also have to click this button that says Update Context. When you click Save, it saves it on the Clinicmaster platform. But clicking Update Context makes it so that the receptionist also has access to this new information. Let's go to the Services tab now. The Services tab is where you can add your different services to be handled by the AI receptionist. For example, physiotherapy, chiropractic, etc. So let's go through the process now. If we click this button on the right that says Add, we can add a new service. For this demo, we're going to go with osteopathy. So let's click that. And then we can click osteopath as the discipline. So we have to select a system discipline, and then we also have to select a discipline. Now, if we look down here, we have two tabs. We have the assessment and the follow-up. So the assessment will just be the patient's first time with this discipline, for example, a physiotherapy initial assessment, a chiropractic initial assessment, etc. And you can see that we have to enter an assessment service here. So we can go osteopath treatment 30 minutes. Then down here, we can select which one of our practitioners are eligible for booking over the AI receptionist. So for example, if we click the checkbox on this practitioner, then now this practitioner will be able to be booked via the AI receptionist. Now, once we're done with the assessment tab, we can go to the follow-up tab, which is where we can set up a follow-up for this discipline. So for the follow-up, just like the initial assessment, we're going to have to choose a service. We can go osteopath treatment 60 minutes. And just like before, we will have to choose which ones of our practitioners are eligible to handle bookings done through the AI receptionist. And it's also worth noting that this system will only display practitioners that are eligible to perform the selected discipline. Additionally, you can select as many practitioners as you'd like. For this example, we only have one practitioner, but if there were, for example, 5 practitioners here, we could choose 3 of them and leave 2 of them out, depending on our requirements. Once we've done all of this, we can click the Save button here in the bottom right to save this. I'm just going to click Cancel. But once you click that Save button, your discipline will show up in this list. You can see here we have chiropractic, we have general consultation, and we have physiotherapy. And then at the bottom would be osteopathy. From here, we can also delete disciplines and we can also edit disciplines. And just as another reminder, whenever you make any changes, you're going to want to click that Update Context button to make sure that the changes are reflected in the AI Receptionist. And that's everything you need to know to configure the AI Receptionist in the Clinicmaster Hub. In the next video, we're going to look at how to set up practitioner schedules so that the AI Receptionist has accurate information on when practitioners can or cannot be booked.